Captain America, Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Hulk, the Black Panther, and Thor. They're all going to be on this controller. Let's go ahead and have some fun. And we're going to be using a regular brush, some airbrush, and possibly a toothbrush. Welcome guys, my name is Ernie and I customize just about anything from promotional products to one-off gifts. This time around we partner up once again with custom controllers, and we're doing something very special, very unique, very colorful in a very short amount of time. We have a lot of work ahead of us, so let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I'm going to do is make myself a little template, a little stencil. This way I can sketch out which characters I want to put on which side of the controller, and I want to be able to collect as many reference material as I can. This way I have something to look at while I'm painting. Once I collected all my reference material, making sure they fit on the controller and the side that I want to put them in the controller, making sure of course that they have a lot of color and it looks pretty cool. Went ahead and started sketching out the controller itself and try to see and making sure that the posture of the character fits with the controller and will look really nice. I'm not using this sketch for anything else but trying to lay out my composition and making sure, like I said, that the way the character is positioned will work with the other character that is next to it on the left and the right. I'm pretty happy with the layout. So the controller has already been sanded. I just need to prep it, so I'm going to clean it with alcohol and get ready for paint. If you ever painted on plastic, you know that sometimes the paint doesn't stick, so you have to use a special primer. In this case, I'm using Autoborn Sealer, which works great with acrylics and kind of acts like a glue, some sort of bonding onto the plastic itself. You just got to make sure you sand it all the time. So once you sand it, you'll have a nice surface for that glue to grab onto. I'm going to be using 4011 reducer, which it's kind of like paint but without any color. There's no pigment in it, and I'm just simply using that to water down the Autoborn Sealer. I think it says on the bottle that you're not supposed to water it down, but I want to shoot it nice and smooth onto the plastic, so I'm gonna reduce it down and make it look a little bit like I guess milk is kind of the consistency I always go with. And after I get that, I'm gonna go ahead and apply it onto the controller. Everything is prepped and ready to go. It's been cleaned. I went ahead and glued the touchpad onto a popsicle stick. This way it's easier for me to paint and to move around. And let's go ahead and shoot. Alright, the Autoborn is already laid down, and I put a whole bunch of thin layers, and that's what you want. It's a very good primer, so you don't need to lay it down thick. You want to lay down very thin, and it dries really fast, so you shouldn't have a problem, especially if you live in California and it's kind of hot outside. But you can always use a hair dryer or a heat gun to dry it quicker, which will definitely dry within like seconds. Alright, let's go ahead and lay down the first color, which is going to be blue. I'm going to put a different gradient all over the controller, so it has kind of like a change of color. We'll have a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple, a little bit of dark, color, maybe black. So it's always going to be different no matter how you look at the controller. I really want my characters to pop, so I'm gonna put a kind of like a contrasting color in the background. So if you take a look at the Black Panther, it has kind of like a purplish tint to it, so I'm gonna do that as well on the controller, and that'll be the same for the other characters, trying to get a contrasting color so they also pop. the background is complete and already dry. I want to give it another dimension. This way it gives you another thing to look at. I don't want to just make it all flat, and adding texture will definitely help me give it that extra dimension. I'm going to spray or use the toothbrush to kind of splatter different colors in there. White, a little bit of blue, just kind of randomly put it in there so it gives it another texture to make it more interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using stencils in this project because there's so much stuff going on. I may just use a brush and go straight forward. So I want to protect the background, and I'm going to be using this UV LS clear from Cratex. It'll help me give it a little protection on that background just in case I screw up with the paint and I need to kind of wipe things down, or sand here, or use a stencil. I want to make sure that that background is nice and protected, so I'm going to put several layers of this clear on there. If you're constantly painting, you know how annoying it is to clean up, and one of the annoying things is cleaning the little dish where you mix your colors. I kind of got tired of doing that. After a while, the plastic of the little mixing tray kind of stains with the color itself, and it's kind of hard to get it out. You have to wash it every day, so it's something that's really annoying. So I figured out another way of doing or using a mixing tray, and that is just using a regular clipboard and using like wax paper on it, and I just kind of use a sheet, and then after I'm done I just remove it and throw it away. I don't even have to worry about it, and that's been working really good for me, and I really like the way this special tool works out, because then it saves me a lot of time, and then I don't have to do that much cleanup. So this particular project needs to be done fairly quickly, and I don't have time to create stencils, digitize them, cut them out, apply them, and stuff like that. So the best thing for me to do, even though it seems like a lot of work, is to freehand every single thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that using a medium gray, which will kind of act like a nice base color of medium tone. This way I can work my way up in highlights and work my way down in shadows at the same time, and this is all before putting down any color. You may think that this is a little bit stressful because you want to get the character nice and perfect, but in reality you're just starting to sketch it out, and you're going to be modifying the design and obviously the highlights and shadows as you go along. So just go ahead and get started. Just draw an X where you think the face is going to go, and just try to sketch things out, and you can always adjust it later as you continue going. The main thing is to have fun in this process, this portion of the painting process, because it really does give you that freedom of kind of throwing paint on there and just readjusting as you go along. We are putting down several layers of that gray and that highlight and shadow, so I'm not really worried about the details. Like I said, just go ahead and have fun. At times the characters are not going to look the way they look, and they look kind of funny because you're still in the process of putting detail down. So don't worry about that, just keep going and just trust the process and you should be fine. Up to this point I've been using nothing but a brush. Right now I'm just going to switch to the airbrush and try to give it a little bit more of a kind of like a smoother shadow and highlights, trying to get those nice fades in there. And I'm gonna use the black and also the white, and then I'm come back with the brush again and add some more detail. So I'm just trying to get those values in there before I lay down any base color. Alright, it seems like it's coming out really good and I am pretty satisfied with the values of the characters. I'm gonna add the base color of each character, and after that I'm gonna start adding some more shadows. At the end I'm gonna add highlights to everything. Throughout this whole process, I'm still using my airbrush paints. They are very thin, so it does require me to put down several layers to be able to get the pigment that I want on the controller. This is kind of good because it allows me to modify and adjust my shadows as I continue laying down color. And all my characters, I always start with the lighter color first and move towards the darker side and the shadows, and I'll be doing that here as well. I also try to use the same type of color right after the next one. This way I don't have to do a lot of cleaning of the brush. So in this case, I'll try to do the faces of all the characters at the same time, and try to do, like, you know, the darker brown on all of them, and then the darker brown on all of them. So this way I kind of, you know, finish quicker, and at the same time I don't have to clean that much. The colors will look a little dull before you put the gloss, but once you put that gloss, they're really gonna pop, and the hue on the color is really gonna shine. When you're doing a project like this, you really want to be patient. This project was done in several days, so just keep that in mind, and don't try to rush or get frustrating that it's not being done in one day. So just take your time, you know, give yourself a week to paint and to kind of enjoy the process. So try to do that and try to take your time as you're painting all this stuff. Most of the detail is already laid down. I see that the character needs to pop a little bit more against the background, so what I'm going to do is add a highlight around each character, and of course I'm going to come back and add some highlights as well. This way it really pops. As we continue painting this controller, let me know what your favorite character is in the comments below. Let me know what you think of the controller as we continue painting, and yeah, let me know what you would do different, or if you have another idea for another design for a custom controller. Not only is this controller going to be custom painted all crazy, but we're adding another level of craziness after it gets assembled, so stay tuned and check that out. Alright guys, and we are coming to the end. Hopefully you guys enjoy this process of this controller. We ended up using minimal amount of airbrushing, but we used the airbrush color paints, just using traditional brush and just making sure that you lay down more layers than just one. This way you get the hue that you want, and of course including a white base. This way you get real nice bright colors. Alright, I'm gonna go outside and clear the entire controller. Let's put it together, mock it up, and see what it looks like.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next? Yeah. He got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second. This life is a lesson. He got a new engine from pain, it's a blessing. New focus, no guessing, just bold and obsession. All in his possession, you got their attention. I leave an impression and take your redemption. Just kill no discretion. Your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy. You don't wanna be fast asleep when they scheming. Better stand tall, ready for a fight, believe me. When they try the chains, you can say no, free me. So he's been looking for somebody who could save him, instead of searching inside for what they gave him. A strong will, strong mind causes mayhem. We could change the world, change times, rearrange them. Staying on pace, running the race. Life is a chase, I don't want a place, I wanna be first. Work till it hurts, dehydrated thirst till I'm in a hearse. High ambitions and the right mind can take you so far. It's like you lived a few lifetimes. Take off from a break off from the weak minds. They can stay soft. You can change lives. You create thoughts. Never waste time. You got one shot. You got one life. Better pop off. What do you like? Make a dream job. No 9-5. No mean boss. Just my life and free thoughts. You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way. What I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. People like sheep move feet, hurt it easy.
And there you go guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for sticking to the end and subscribing. I really appreciate it. It really motivates me to continue making these videos. And yeah, heads up to Custom Controllers for allowing us to be part of this project. For now, take it easy, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Take it easy.